Wonderful people, I'm Charlotte Shee. Today, let's dig deep in the problematic static that is going on with children and youth worldwide as they're all fishing for new educational system. They are looking for the answers they cannot find from within, and so there is a great need for new things to come true far beyond the awakening process, far beyond what people would term mindfulness. Being mindful and being creative and awake with the self is one thing, but it doesn't really bring the transformations that are needed from within, that the planet is requiring, that their place on earth is requiring, and creating that particular space for them. As I've done some investigation, I'm seeing great schools working on a worldwide platform, being very, very open to bring these educations through, which comes in the first place with getting to know the self. Without self knowledge, there is hardly any forward movement, and that has not been educated, has been held back by science, it has been held back by any education until now. Yet, like, is there is so much need to bring back the functionality of the body, the functionality of the brain, the faculties within the brain, the applications of the brain, which should be educated to the young ones, to the young children, even in kindergarten and in high school. I've been doing that for the past 10, 15 years maybe, and with great results, as I am truly a pioneer in the work because I educated myself with the universe for 22 years, going in to the origin, bringing that to children, healing them out, teaching them how to heal out, how to let go of traumatic circumstances, how to uplift intelligences, how to uplift their particular skills, their interests. That is something that has not been educated through meditational outlets. It's what I do actually, opening up languages within, opening up communication with everything that they are. Because if that particular tiny microorganism is not connected to that huge macro organism in the outside world, the entire cosmos, then it's pretty difficult to understand for a child and for the young ones, trying to elevate their consciousness, trying to be open, being interested in the sciences of the universe, being interested in the science of their selves, how their neurological outlet works, how they can alter it, how they can become professionals. And it is essentially also very important that we start to understand how alignment through meditation, which is going to be the next medication actually on the planet, will actually alleviate all the old ways of thinking, the old ways of performing tasks, and getting into a brand new platforms that opens up new creativity with any task at hand, which is very, very handy at times because the young ones, especially young children and youth growing up between 12, 13, 14, 15, they all struggle with massive problems because they have not been educated in how to deal with society today, and in the first place understanding what comes upon them and translating them issues not immediately perhaps on an individual level, but essentially translating it into understanding why things happen to them. So getting to know themselves, why they attract certain things, why they reject certain things, and so giving them an easy time through, let's say, the learning zones of science, astronomy, especially the physics of the universe, getting to know the anatomy, how it works with living light technology, and how that can alter consciousness with any problem at hand. So that is very interesting because children love to play around. Children have a huge level of imagination, and how to open more levels of imagination, connection, intuitive outlets, and bringing that through, educating them like to become a great communicator is very important because the new age is opening up in the age that is termed the age of communication. The Aquarian age is all about communicating new things and that are not to be found in present day books because that material has not been downloaded. So educating kids how to open up their own scriptures, how to open up their inner knowledge that they carry inside for many millions of years away. That's a huge project, and that requires a lot of support from coaches, teachers, parents, and maybe also moving into that space and where they open up their self empowerment and leading themselves into self mastering energy, because everything that we are is pure energy. There is nothing else. We are actually an organism that is composed by many, many elements. And once children and young ones start to understand how to work with their inner elements, they first need the knowledge, the educations, the teaching platforms, the open possibilities to the arts, to the written work, to other creative outlets, to working with all the elements like the planet, with the crystals, the seas, how the water composition can enter our own water composition, how we co-create with the oceans, how we co-create with the rivers, the seas, and that is what brings a lot of interest to children and young ones. And at the same time, so I would definitely encourage teachers and parents to go in that teaching paradigm, which I offer online, but also in person, to a 3 day, 7 day, or a year-long program in which you transform self back into the origin. That is the whole deal with coming onto the planet for everybody. Going back into the origin as the earth is purifying every day. And so the earth is moving its axis position back into the origin. It will not allow the atrocities of the matrix any longer, or anything we suffered from the malfunctioning going on in societal avenues such as politics, economics, banking systems, and so forth. So the young ones especially need to be prepared to bring through new programs whenever, opening themselves up in what they would think that is their position on the earth, and growing strong when planting their feet in the new universities being built as well. So here from kindergarten, secondary school, high school, when we create a very, very strong um, high level mentality and offer many options to explore self far beyond mindfulness, then we can educate, we can start educating, giving them, everything they need in the morning to be open, to learn to focus in the classroom with whatever is being taught, what is deemed a necessity for self-development. And so that can go from the arts in the model of learning grammatic, of learning geometry, mathematics, and when they open up their own intuitive measurements, we will see children growing beyond us. And so it's going to be very interesting. So, and therefore the need that we start to understand the incoming children that will no longer accept the old educational system. So when educating them in the science of the universe, the science of themselves, connecting with their own organism, explaining the composition of their organism so that it can match the organism of light within earth, and reconnecting them with the consciousness within each organism, which is actually the main goal of opening, rewiring, reconnecting, and retrieving our own download of information. And when children can download their own information, they are directed by many sources and forces in um, the the big cosmos out there actually, and that is so magnificent, so beautiful, because we will see that children will be very clever and coming up with new ideas, new systems, and we we are just there to co-create, co-educate with them and steering them in the direction that is requested for the individual student. So that is quite different than from a classroom perspective, right? And that can be done with enough support, video support, meditational support in the morning, after school classes, weekend classes, holiday classes. There is so much that we can do, and if we can offer that, and there is allowance in schools to offer that platform, then they can grow like an engine of uh, an engineer in any faculty. And if we can decipher at a young age between 6 and 12, or 12 and 18 already, like we want to go, children want to go in the direction of architecture, housing, interior design, becoming a physician, becoming that, then we can make them strong in their particular interest and faculty, which is, directed by universal sources and forces, and how to connect with them. And I've been teaching children at a young age how to heal themselves if they have a headache, a stomach ache, or even, an injury through sports. I would teach them how to heal that with the elements and heal each other out. So there's never ever any complaint in there. If somebody is stressed out with things or whatever, we can just download one particular way of creation that overrides that particular consciousness and delete that other consciousness like in 10 minutes time. So that comes in very handy, especially if children are stuck in particular things in creation. And because if we think on a higher platform also, then the highest education we can ever allow ourselves um, to bring back to children, that is what keeps them alive, and that is their breathing system. The breathing system has never been educated in any school worldwide, because it was on a very low level, and opening the breathing systems from the pulmonary artery into the lungs, into the heart, into every organ, where you feel your breath going through the brain, to the feet, to everything. That is opening into the breathing system that carries light consciousness, that opens up to the macrocosmos. And then we get from the breath of living light into the omni breath, into the cosmic breath, which takes many years of training, but then again, it's very interesting. So it means they never get out of breath, and that is something everybody on the planet could learn, to transition the old RNA and DNA into the new platform, that is a transformation of the cellular construction right away into light particles, which is our origin. So if we are here at a particular time, especially today, that is because of the purifying of the seas, the rivers, the soil, everything. Think of the Great Barrier Reef. If we want to, or many beautiful coral reefs all over the planet are dying, that is because we allowed it to die. So we need to bring the knowledge, the intelligence back into the seas, and that starts off with the origin, and the origin was a crystalline electronic vibration that is still alive from the origin. And so we need to know what kind of crystals we need to bring into the sea, what kind of elements we need to reevaluate in order for the seas to flourish again and cut off the dying syndrome. So that is our responsibility along with children and the young ones. That could be a very, very passionate project if they're educated in the right ways, along with parents opening up to getting to know that. Then your meditational connection will become extremely interesting because you start to download your own scriptures, your own book of knowledge, your own emerald tablet, so to speak. But that it will be a reality, and so we can tap into everything that is alive right now. And so, what is alive right now needs explanation, especially for the young ones. And so I think it's a great idea here to merge teachers, parents, children, youth, grandparents, the elderly, the community, build a better community all over the world in any place with a particular school that is open to these educations and bringing, starting off with a program that enhances the school platform, bringing the changes in the school in the first place, creating forest gardens, opening up the brain to change the taste pebbles, um, bringing through ideas that benefit the animal kingdoms, bringing through new ideas in the food industry. We have worldwide so many cultures eating different foods, and then when we find ourselves, we can, give back to the element, to the animal kingdom, what belongs essentially to the animal kingdoms. And so there is a never ending spiral in these teachings in which children, the young ones, can transform on an everyday level. And that needs, a very strong being capable to educate them in the right way, to steer them in the right way, to give, let's say, like sort of back office support through video, through communication, through coaching, through life experiences, and the young communicating, like young children communicating with youth and creating projects together, because both have as much or, you know ideas and intelligence and wisdom, which will be encouraged by these alignments. So that is actually the outlet, what I would term the I am presentation. Who am I? Getting to know yourself. That takes a lot of years of training. And that is so interesting because the I am presence is actually the energy field around us connecting within, that defeats the old chakra system that should never have existed. But through the matrix, we were all birthed through the matrix in order to repair everything that was going on. And so moving back into the ascension with the earth that is already in a higher vibration, we need to match our frequency to that particular vibration. Otherwise, it wouldn't function, right? So alike energies need to move with alike energies, and so that is the requirement for the next decade. So here, I'm very interested, if schools are interested, to open up such a 5 or 10 year plan with me. You know, just ring the bell, and I will pay you a visit to open up a new co-creative plan for all ages, children between 3 and 5, 6 and 9, 9 and 12. These are particular, let's say, domains that they can explore at that particular age, and on, of course. Um, a domain is what is particular to a child at that age and getting to into a platform of self-investigation with self-discovery and self-healing. So where there is no trauma, there is no disease, there is no fear, it's non-existent, or at least we would eliminate that immediately with great techniques that are actually not known. That's my 22 years of work on the planet, and I've seen so many young children transform in no amount of time, healing themselves. I remember 20 years ago when I started out, and there's even these children right now are, let's say, around 30 years old, and they still call me. So that is great result, right? So yes, and of course I progress a lot as well as my study goes into the biology, the anatomy, the cellular construction, the neurology of the self in connection with astronomy, with the universal outlet into the beyond, in connection with what the earth is becoming, or the stage of purification. And that is needed because then we will feel the vortexes, the living light syndrome through the air that we breathe. So you feel everything in the universe within. So the macrocosm becomes one with the microcosm. And that is interesting if the young ones can learn that. So um, I think if anyone interested, just let me know. There's my email address down there in the description box as well, because I think it's interesting to bring that into kindergartens, high schools, universities. Even there is no end to it. So my intention is especially to move into schools, so I'll open up that program and to allow their students to really start to incorporate and investigate the I am presence, and becoming one with it should take about 1 year of education in the school platform, what it is and I am presence, how it is being installed in the body, how you can reconnect, how we need to change neurology, anatomy, the blood circulation, and so much more. So a program of 1 year and getting into the I am presence is quite a feature, especially if teachers and school staff wants to participate and bringing that on a higher level. So of course for every age there is different level of education, but it gets to the same avenue actually. So here in the next explanation I will truly explain or give a deeper understanding of what the reconnection with the divine sources and forces actually is, and that is meditation becoming your daily medication, be it in intelligence, wisdom, knowledge, intuitive capabilities, skills, and upgrading so much more in our creative capability that stayed dormant in the brain for many years, at least this life on the planet. So depending on where you're at, that is, we will open up all these dormant spaces and get the overload of a passionate life back together in co-creation with schools, parents, staff, community building, and eventually connecting with um, a worldwide platform in which we show how change can be done, and we can prove that through a year program. So here, if you want to know more, hop on to this video. Thank you so much. Especially the human brain, although so many parts in the brain have been kept dormant within most people for a long time. And so in this age, as we're going through massive purifications, on the airplane, and just to awaken all these dormant parts, just to awaken you into a healthier lifestyle. And that means, in the first place, taking care of your organism, your biology, and along that, taking care of the biology of Earth. Because if the Earth is meant to feed us, we need to create healthier ways to get our vitamins and minerals in the body, so we can open up these functions. So here, the preview or the newscast or the art that sees through what is really needed today is getting people back in the authenticity of lifestyles. And that is, in the first place, the most misunderstood essence globally, and that is meditation. Getting a preview of meditation is getting to understand it and how you view that, and not getting back into those unbalanced fear syndromes. So it's not easy for people who never meditated, because they think it is just sitting down there, focusing, going inside. Well, all these things are not possible when the body is not prepared, and people should know how to prepare a body to get into a real meditation. And that means, through meditational alignment, we can open up all the body parts that stay dormant. We can open up your feet chakras to receive energies from the earth. When they are opened up, you feel the pulsations of earth at all times, 24/7. So when we open up your nervous systems and we deblock every blockage, I mean, you come alive big time, and that is needed. It is needed to understand that meditation is actually a medication that opens up the higher realms of consciousness, and does all your brain parts minus the manipulation of the mind. And in order to set up a meditation, you need to create a space for it. You need to create a space so you can always add elements into that space that will walk with you, that will talk to you, that will assist you. Elements, I'm talking here universal elements. I'm talking about the planetary galactic systems, universal systems, and beyond that. And we cannot have access into that when so many things in the body, in your blood circulation, in your glandular system, your entire health, especially the nervous system, is so much blocked through emotional content and low mental, or low mentality, simply said. And so in a foundational seminar, we will deblock all these channels that stayed dormant, so you can feel alive inside out. And from there on, you can start out a very big healing process with yourself, because your channels are open. And so the most important channel in your body, or what brings your vibration alive, is your breath. And so stuck breathing patterns on the planet are massive. Most people cannot even get their breath to the throat and open up the brain waves. So that part here needs to completely open. And how many are able to speak from self to self the information that you receive? Like when I go or record such a video, I never prepare. I just feel I need to say something, and I open up my own spaceship, because the brain is a massive information deck, and we all have that. We are all equal, and we all have our specialties into that. So seeing a meditation as a setup with, in which you can work with many energies, in which you can work with mathematics, in which you can work with designs, and your brain takes these designs up because that is the way you were designed in the first place in the universe before being downloaded in the womb of your mother. So getting back to learn that, we all forgotten that so much, that is real meditation. Because from there on, when all these channels are opened, which can be done through a 3-day, at least 3 day seminar to get a complete shift in the brain through, you will see that thought alone is not going to work, because most people cannot even imagine a new lifestyle or imagine the realization, manifestation of things that can happen very quickly. And that is what is needed globally in the first place in any education. There is meditation to teach children health, fitness, self-healing. There is meditation to teach youth to never get pregnant, to eliminate fears, to eliminate angers, to eliminate stuck patterns. I have so much experience with that, especially in individual sessions. Like, youth can transform from one day into the other because they don't have so many years of traumatic circumstances going on, and so there is so much to experience actually. So meditation is all about experiencing, eliminating and adding elements in your meditation so you can access the higher realms, you can heal yourself, you can heal the planet, you can heal other peoples, and you can access the higher degrees of knowledge, intelligence and wisdom, and from there on you start to create with all the elements that will be of massive assistance to you. And so many also talk about this third eye thing, the pineal gland. So there's a lot in the pineal, but also not only the third eye, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, and all these senses need to open up. So we have an eye that goes all around in circumference, and that is not only the pineal, there are many other glands that need to take a part in here and create a new vision for a life. So here also I want to say is that meditation through alignment and working with many ways of millions of ways of creation and mathematics is super interesting, because in the end the goal of meditation is that you become a walking, talking meditational spaceship. And so you have your information at hand all of the time. Everybody can channel. It depends on your purification and to what you are aligned to, the themes of light, to many universal systems. And so it can only be interesting, and I mean, it's so beautiful to experience information via various degrees of platforms given through the universe, and how you can access that, and how you can come up with ideas with your teams and create solutions for the airplane, because that is why you're here on the first place. So it's not about trying to understand, it is getting there and willing to get back into a new, to get back into authenticity, and thus eliminating the old identifications that come from the outside, from other people, from attachments, from relationships, from belief systems. So yes, it's the work we all need to do, and bring that education also, and spread that education to the lost ones, bringing families back together, and so much more. It, from the moment we understand how much we can do through meditation, it's incredible what we can access, because science is holding it back. Huh? They need proof on every level. So let's make the unseen visible and get there. And so that is, we can load new lenses in our eyes. We can load so many rays like laser lights through the pupils of our eyes and detect things. We don't need that old machinery. We can take medication from the organism of earth to repair, let's say, the glandular construction, to repair the bones. And the only thing, or the missing links, are coming through light techniques. And so don't be afraid of light techniques that are simple things that come into the brain, so we can reinstall the glands that have been lost during the fall or the dark ages. So we are opening the Aquarian age of information, of detail, and getting there. So we should be excited and allow resistance to leave the arena, allow resistance to go, and start off with some small setup. Then broaden your view and get to know how a field of light works. It is termed a grid. Grids are lines up and down, and so horizontal, vertical, diagonal, and these grids create, for example, a triangle. A triangle goes beyond the binary system. What is a binary system? 0, 1, 0, 1, it's duality. And so moving into the higher degrees, the brain can access high-level intelligent information, and that is needed especially in universities, because soon enough our foods will not be able to feed us. The elements have been broken down, so through meditation we can repair the elements, or the vitamins and minerals, if you will, through the food industries. So let alone the animal kingdom, the killing fields, and the instincts that come from there. We were never meant to eat that. So going back into a consciousness of that, means that through alignment, your taste will change, and you will not be able to want it anymore, being not able to want it, to reject it. And that is a great way to change consumerism. And that can be done also to at least a 3-day to 7-day seminar, and then bringing up follow-up programs, so you can keep it up and move from one level into the next. And the goal is always teach it to others, teach it to the lost people, teach it to the elderly, teach it in psychiatric institutions. I have had many people from being healed from high-level mental disorders, and through my techniques, and I see, like they said, what a relief into freedom, because medication always cuts down the natural systems in your body. Your organism cuts down, and moving out of that and being daring enough to take that responsibility and creative levels to open up new evolution, new plans, because that is what we are becoming. And so your brain waves, they completely change day and night, because you can do it. To Well, when you get acquainted to working with ways of creation and light as in consciousness, like a green way, what I'm wearing right here, there's a dark green, a light green, fluorescent green. They all have a different consciousness. For example, we go into the knowledgeable degrees, we go into the new business with money on the earth plane that comes to the green way. And while integrating that in the body, your brainwave change all the time. You see that artwork here, that's always male female that I paint, just comes out of me. And so I'm showing here the brain waves on a very high and intelligent level. You can see what is purple, turquoise, and white. And here in the throat, especially the knowledge green with the turquoise, turquoise has a tremendous level of eliminating sick patterns in the body. But then again, you need to know how to work with these ways. You need to know how to combine certain ways. Gonna have a closer look. I don't know if you can see this. Yeah. Okay. So you see the male and the female that needs to come into balance. Actually, it needs to balance out, because nothing on the airplane is more out of balance than relationships, right? So here I encourage you to really take the first step. Not in the airy-fairy meditations anymore. We are done with that. There is too much falseness and misinformation on the Google machine through the guru syndrome. We are leaving the guru syndrome and we are going into the neuroscience of meditation. And so we are going to load techniques that you can apply at home, that you can apply in your car, that you can apply everywhere that you go. And then you expand on that field of light, which is your individual grid system. You work with more fields of light or grid system, and then you can start changing the entire patterns, because you will feel so fit and you upgrade your breath from one day in the other, because that is the most important thing. Upgrading the breath, opening up the lungs like a few miles away. And so the circulation through your breath flows everywhere, and you need to feel that in your lobes, in the glands. If I breathe through and I want to heal, for example, the vagus nerves that runs from here all the way up, down, through the stomach. I mean, it's a very large nerve, the vagus nerves, and it holds on to a lot of debris or old beliefs from former lifetimes even. So here I suggest like a setup, learning about a grid system, and maybe try some meditation, some guided elimination procedure where you just follow, because I talk like this in meditation, and that is big fun. And focus that comes after good training. Like if after an alignment you can still focus on what you are doing or what is coming out of your body, that is excellent. And in the beginning, especially no more than 5 minutes, and take maybe an absolute half an hour to an hour to clear out through guided alignments, because that is massively important. It's gonna help you so much to move forward. I have this online as well, eliminating fear. I have an MP3 of 1 hour where I speak like that. You just need to breathe, follow through, write it down, and get that out of your body. Like your body gets in a shivering, like from the release. And that is when you feel, after 1 week, you feel complete detachment, elimination of former relationships. That is how it works. That is how fast it works. You won't even be able to rethink these people, to think about situations. because all our experiences are important, but it is as important to delete all traumatic experiences. And that is where I want to get you, either through online or through seminars. So I'm hoping to set up at least a seminar in June, and maybe online, bring it online as well, and do at least a 3-day via Skype. We have enough technology so we can gather and really do it, because here, with everything out there going on, it is imperative to create an individual deep space in which you have your own knowledge at the highest level. Knowledge is your power, your intuition, and then you can expand into new perspective about your own life, because thought alone and changing the brainwaves is not enough, because it doesn't change how you look, and you need to change how you look as well. So that is like an automatic transformation that I'm going to teach you, and how to set that up. So that's yeah, I'm very passionate about teaching. I love teaching, love to be with people, especially also when I do individual alignments, healing sessions. Actually, they are extremely deep, because I go to the point from where you were born, even into the womb, and get that crappy stuff out of your body. So in 1 hour time you can have a complete shift with me. So it's very intense. I tell the truth, I tell it like it is, because my information comes as fast as I speak right now. And so that can go healing globally, whatever goes on in the body right now, that can go in healing your lungs, respiratory system, and all that stuff, all the way down into your sacral, the stomach, the liver, heal that out. Or that can go in healing your relationships. No matter what you want, it's gonna be so deep. You will have instant changes in 1 hour time, and that moves through the next 2 or 3 days, and you will feel that shift, because people will see you as a different person. And that is what meditation, healing, and all that information about light and new consciousness on earth is going to be about. So here, this preview through my artistic output in my brain, my artistic output through art, and my artistic output through the ideas I bring forth in instant changes, is what I am. A modern day newscast for the next evolution, because we are swimming fast in this new era on this airplane. So take real good care of yourself. Please share my videos, click the bell, align. I'm starting to bring out many videos a few times a week, just to keep it up and to support you. So here, I've never done that before. I stopped somewhere some years ago, but here I really want to spread the word. So I appreciate your support. And if you have any questions, just shoot, whether through my email or on YouTube. Thank you. Take good care. Bye-bye.